If I asked you right now what your niche was, would you be able to tell me? A lot of people think that niche is just something that you pull out of thin air, and it really isn't. It's something that requires experience. For you to have a niche, you need to have something to back that up. When a client comes to you and asks you something specifically designated to your niche. So today we're going to figure out what your niche is, and then we're going to figure out what services are you going to provide. And maybe I might add a little tips and tricks towards the end. So make sure you stay tuned. If you're someone who is choosing to become a virtual assistant with no admin background whatsoever. So what is a niche? A niche is specific to a client or an industry. So when I first started out my business, my niche was in nonprofits, startups, any sort of new business, helping out entrepreneurs specifically in like one industry. So my first client, she started a nonprofit. I started with her from the very beginning. Like, she decided to create a nonprofit at the end of 2024, and then I became her executive virtual assistant January of 2025. So specific to my niche was nonprofits, and I chose mainly nonprofits because I do have experience working with nonprofits. And also, as far as like passion goes, I want to help people grow their businesses, especially a business that is looking to make an impact on the community. And then now my niche is specifically for content creators, influencers, and people just in the content creator sphere. Even podcasters are people that I'm interested to work with, and there you go. That's pretty much my niche. But I will say, I am able to pick a niche because I have experience doing admin work. If you're someone who has no experience whatsoever in admin, I would suggest not picking a niche just yet. Unless there's something that you're really, really good at, like let's say like some sort of graphic design, if you're really, really good at social media and you have a platform, I would suggest not picking a niche just yet. Just be a generalist. And when you're a generalist, that means you can do a lot of different things. And I will give you a list of what a generalist, like what services a generalist can provide. And then you could pick from that list as to what services you're looking to provide a client. So speaking of services, when it came to how I started, a lot of my services were things that I've done in the past. So everything from calendar management, email management, travel management, event planning, office management, client relations, client communication, vendor communication, all things that I've done in my career as an admin. And because I didn't necessarily have a what's the word I'm looking for? Because I didn't necessarily have a platform for my business just yet. I may have had the background experience, but my business was new. I put every single service that I've done in the past as like a service that I'm willing to provide for a client. And I do recommend narrowing it down to maybe anywhere from like 6 to 7, only because if you put an array of different things of services that you're willing to do, sometimes some clients could look at you a little sideways, like, okay, you're saying you can do all these things, but there's no way you can do all these things. They start to question you, and that's, I say, mainly for someone who's transitioning from one industry to becoming a virtual assistant. If you're an admin or have been an admin, it's a lot easier to say you've done all these things, especially on your resume that we talked about in the first video. On your resume, you can write down everything that you've done in the past. So if you're an admin, just write down everything that you've done. But if you're someone who's never been an admin before, then you're pretty much looking to transfer skills from your previous job to your now business. And this is also why I say a portfolio is also very important. And in the next video, we'll talk about how to create a portfolio and then how to create a website with your portfolio for free through Canva. But with your portfolio, if you're someone who's looking to do social media management, graphic design, those types of services, that's where your portfolio really comes in handy, because you're able to show your work and your client can visually see what you're capable of. Now let's move into career transitioning. These are about 3 or 4 careers that someone may have and they're looking to switch to virtual assisting. And if I don't talk about a career that you're in, make sure you can comment it in the comment section and I'll do my best to give you some ideas of maybe a niche or a service that you can provide that can transfer over from your previous career to virtual assisting. So I have them written down, so if I look down, I'm sorry about that for a second. So definitely let's just get started. If you're a teacher who's looking to become a virtual assistant, as far as niche goes, think of educational tech companies, especially startup educational tech companies. Because you have that experience working in the education system, that's a niche that you can consider. Online courses for creators, if you come up, or not even just creators, public speakers or anything like that, that can be a niche. A lot of them are looking to come up with their own ebooks or their own courses or whatever, but need a little bit of help writing those things out. That's something that you can do. Or any type of coaching business. A lot of them are looking to create content for social media, but they're also looking for different pamphlets to be created, teaching material and stuff like that, all things in that niche area that you could look to do. And then as far as services go, you can be a curriculum or a content writing, or you could either do curriculum or content writing, email newsletters, community management, research, proofreading and editing, creating presentation decks. If you have any type of experience using PowerPoint, or I think for Google, it's Google, not Google Sheets. Whatever the version of PowerPoint is for Google, you can do that, and then creating different slide decks for presentations. Those are all services that you could provide. And then definitely emphasize on, because you're a teacher and you've handled dealing with a lot of students or whatever it is that you were doing. If you worked in the office with the principal or vice principal, you're really good at filing or keeping things organized. Also, if you have any experience whatsoever with AI, and I cannot recommend this enough, I will do a completely separate video of how you can incorporate AI into your business. But if you can create files and organizational things with AI, that is something that you should highlight on your resume and in your portfolio. Next thing, for all the healthcare workers, different niches that you can consider. Private medical practice, health coaching, wellness coaching, anything in that fitness industry, fitness health industry, and then telehealth companies. All things that you can niche down to. And then the services that you can provide is any type of medical administrative support, patient scheduling, one-on-one. Let's say if there's a doctor who's looking to start his own private practice and they need someone to help dealing with their patients virtually, that's something that you can do. Insurance follow-ups, HIPAA compliant communication, once again, more research, and managing the provider's inbox if you're used to dealing with different type of medical jargon, all things that you can also do. If you're someone who's ever worked in customer service, things that you can do, or retail, customer service or retail, things that you can do, e-commerce, as far as niche goes, e-commerce, service-based businesses, entrepreneurs, Anyone who needs help managing any type of client relation, because you've had that hands-on experience dealing with customers, dealing with clients over the phone, or answering messages to get them to the right place or whatever, all things that you can niche down to. As far as services go, inbox management, responding to customer inquiries, order tracking, handling complaints with professionals and customers, live chat support, vendor communication, all the things that is required to run an online business. Also, if you have any type of experience with Dubsado, Shopify, Wix, like all those different type of like online businesses, that those are also things that you can not necessarily put on your resume, because they aren't things that you have done professionally, but you can put it on your portfolio and explain how you have experience with it, what you've done with it, and then go from there. And emphasize that you are someone who understands how to deal with clients who may just not always be the best. You can deal with angry customers, all those types of things you can emphasize in your portfolio. If you're someone who is currently in finance or accounting, niche-wise, small business owners, real estate investors, entrepreneurs who need a little bit of help with financial organization. If you have any type of experience whatsoever with QuickBooks, I cannot stress this enough. There are people out there who use QuickBooks and are looking for someone who's specifically has familiarity with QuickBooks or any other online financial whatever. I think even Dubsado is another one that you can emphasize if you have experience with. Wave is another one. So that's a way that you can transfer. And also consider, you don't even have to do virtual assisting in this aspect as a full-time job. This could be your side hustle, and you can make a little bit of extra coin each month as a way of helping. So you have your main job, and this is a job that you can do on the side, either before you go to work, after you come home from work, or only on weekends. One of the best parts about running your own business and being that virtual assistant is you make your own schedule. And especially if you do different like monthly, hourly rates, some clients are like, okay, we want you to work for us for at least 10 hours a week. It's up to you to make sure those full 10 hours are filled out, and then where it's filled out. Let's say if you're someone who has a very chill Monday or a very chill Tuesday, you can knock out 2 to 3 hours on that one day. But if you're also someone who works in that customer service area, you may need to put in at least an hour to 2 hours a day. So it all depends on what it is and what the services are that you're providing. Overall takeaway, you can start as a generalist, and I highly recommend you start as a generalist if you just fully don't know what to do. There's nothing worse than picking a niche and then not knowing how to promote that niche for yourself. So definitely start out being a generalist, and then from there on, as you have gotten 1 or 2 clients and you realize what you like doing for clients and what you don't like doing for clients, then you narrow it down to specifically things that you want to do. That's one of the perks about running a business for yourself, is you get to choose what you want to do with your time. So when you're starting out, unfortunately, you don't necessarily have any type of income coming in, so you need to do anything you can to bring that in. But once you got that 1 or 2 clients and you feel a little bit comfortable in what it is that you're doing, then your next 3 or 4 clients, you get to pick what services you want to provide. And we'll talk about how to find clients a little bit more in depth in a later video. So I'm really hoping this helped. If you have any questions, once again, put it in the comment section, and I hope this helped.